So again, you're listening to the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show, and the open house thing kind of brings up our next topic because there's been a lot of controversy happening this week from a couple of realtors that were robbed at gunpoint, or not robbed. I don't believe the guy got anything. I think he intended to rob them, but I don't think they had anything to rob. Held for ransom. And so there's going to be a lot of changes with how open houses are advertised. We've never been a huge proponent of open houses without a controlled, multiple people there, a lot of security things in place, a lot of things that we do at our company, to differentiate our listing, but also to help protect our agent. And I think you're going to see a massive change with how real estate agents respond to people that they don't know. They don't have their driver's license. They don't know who they are. They don't have pre-approval information. They've never met them. And we constantly have that struggle with consumers. While consumers call up and be like, your agent wouldn't, jump out to show me this home. And it's like, well, we wanted to find out who you are. Sorry, no home sale's worth one of my people's lives.
You may want to explain your procedure at your firm at Duncan Duo, because I think it's something that was more cutting edge. I mean, I'm sure other people do it, but it wasn't necessarily something that was 100% common in the industry, because a lot of people were, were just anxious to get a buyer to make a sale and to get out there, as opposed to looking at the safety. But now that this has come out in the media, I think a lot of people are going to be migrating more to what you already started.
And I think you're going to see more realtors carrying firearms. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing without the proper training and licensing, but I think you're going to see a lot of realtors taking more proactive security, safety steps to protect themselves and their family. At our company, we really do, push the in-office consult or the neutral location consult, getting a copy of a driver's license and or pre-qualification information. So if the person has spoken to a mortgage lender, you've pulled their social, verified their information, you've run their credit, the likelihood of them doing something at that point is so slim, because now we have identifying information. But if you're just jumping out and meeting somebody that you don't know, you've never met them, that's the risk in it. So the statistics show that if you get a pre-approval from somebody or meet them at a neutral location first, the likelihood of them doing something is infinitesimally small compared to if you just, what I call, pop-tart it and jump out and meet somebody that you have no idea who they are.
And I've talked to some of your agents, Andrew, and they, I hear the stories of people getting upset with them because they want to have that in-house consultation first.
And the customer rejects it and wants us to just show the home. And sorry, customer, but we don't know if you're an axe murderer. We don't know if you want to shoot our people or rob them. Literally, it has become more prevalent. It's just the society we live in. We have to protect ourselves. And if you're not willing to provide some identifying information, then and if you want to say that you'll go somewhere else, then go somewhere else. I'm sorry, our people's lives and their safety are more important than anyone's sale, and so we force that, and we do. I deal with it monthly. I'm dealing with a complaint from somebody, from one of our agents, that said, sorry, no, I'm not meeting you because I have no idea who you are. And it's funny, I read a post online this week about, hey, the very first thing someone does when they go into a car dealership is, hey, can I see your driver's license? But real estate, it's sometimes 6, 7, 10 times the value of what a car sale is. Mm-hmm. But the safety precautions just don't follow that same standard. There aren't really any standards. And I think the National Association of Realtors, some of the local boards, are going to be a lot more prevalent. I wanted to get to Shawn on the legal side of this. Obviously, our resident real estate legal attorney, Shawn Yesner with Yesner Law, obviously there's a lot of legal wrinkles that come into play from realtors protecting themselves, safety steps. What would maybe some tips be that you'd have for any realtors listening, and then of course consumers that are going to be impacted by this?
Yeah, I think you touched on a lot of them in terms of meeting either at a neutral site, meeting at the office, getting the identification, running all those background, those very basic, very simple background checks. One thing that caught my attention was the flip side of the coin. So a lot of people say to me, well, why use a realtor? Well, partly because of safety. I've had situations where I've had friends who have had their house listed and somebody knocks on the door at some strange hour of the night and says, hey, I saw you've got your house listed, I want to take a look. Well, what that person really is somebody casing the house to come back later when it's empty to strip it of all its valuables. When you have that agent in place, you can say, I appreciate you coming by, but now's not a really good time. That's why I have a realtor please, here's her information.
Well, also that's,
Call them.
we use an electronic lockbox that tracks every showing, it tracks who's there, what time they're showing up. We use a third-party service to screen the agent, to schedule their call. So there's a lot of safety precautions that we take as a company that not every real estate company takes, and not every real estate broker takes. We all run different business models, and to each their own, and wish them all nothing but success, but everybody runs it a little differently. However, with this coming out right now, people are going to, it's going to change. It's going to be a little probably tighter. If you're a buyer and you're calling listing agents to see homes, and you don't have a pre-approval that you can show people, plan to be hassled a little bit more, because
It's going to be a
just
culture
understand it.
Yeah, it's going to be a culture seat change.
It is.
Yes.
It is, and I think that you're going to see it in our industry across the board, and it's going to ruffle some feathers, but it's meant to protect people's lives.
Well, and at the same time, when I'm going through airport security, when I'm going through security at the courthouse, I don't have anything to hide.
Right.
I don't care. You
When
want to see
people
my
get-
ID? Here's my ID.
Exactly.
We had a
Right.
complaint not long ago from a guy who used like an anonymous email. We barely had I think we had one phone conversation. He was really abrasive on the phone with our agent about wanting to do a consult prior, wanting to meet the person at a neutral location. We got cameras at our office. You walk into my building, I'm good. I got plenty of evidence
Right.
for Tampa PD. If you turn crazy on us. So the challenge is if you. And this gentleman got all heated because we wouldn't, show him this property because we didn't know who he was, and that's just that's just common sense 101.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't you be getting a pre-qualification
Right,
first anyway?
because you're representing the
waste your
seller,
time.
especially in instances where it's our listing. You have the seller's interest in mind. You don't want to just show their home to some crazy person that
Right.
could murder and rob somebody. So
many rookie mistakes from realtors that go ahead and start showing people property, don't even know if they're going to be financing them, don't even know if they qualify. So.
And it's really prevalent right now as we get a lot of new agents in.
Right.
And I know I've touched on this. I've even got emails and texts from friends. Man, you're really hating on the new agents, and it's not that at all. I love new agents. We have a lot of them in our company. They just require a little more training and coaching to how to navigate around these steps. And I suspect that it's going to be even more common talking about the safety and security. So we're going to be back. We're going to wrap up the show with our last segment after a quick break here on the Duncan Duo Show on 970 WFLF.